Well, ladies and gentlemen, round one of the NFL draft is in the books. And here we are today. You, myself, let's settle down. All right, have a nice little cup of coffee or whatever you need to keep you up through the night. We're going to talk round one, instant reactions. We'll go through some updated rookie rankings, talk about some winners, some losers. I certainly am surprised. And let me just say this. If you're out there and you own the 106.7 range, you should feel very good about the results from today's draft. I do think specifically the 106 gained a ton of value today. We'll kind of break down how that looks and where my rankings stand. We'll jump into a mock draft all together. I would love for you guys to join me. Now, if you have never joined a mock draft here on Dynasty Land before, I'm going to tell you the first step is very, very easy, okay? The first step is to join our Discord. Now, Nightbot is going to put a little link there for you guys to get into our Discord. And then right where the mock drafts tab is, right under land, you will see the mock drafts tab, okay? I am going to place a link here, okay? So I'm just gonna let you guys know exactly where you can join me. It will be a first come, first serve basis. By the way, if you are not already you don't already have an account on the Flock site, you can create one completely free. I'll put a link in the chat for you guys. Create a free account. Just make sure you use the code LAND at sign up, and then we will jump into as many rookie drafts as we possibly can get into tonight. I'm very, very excited to jump into those with you guys. In fact, why don't we go ahead right now and send out the first link for you guys to join us in a rookie mock draft. Let's go here. Dynasty Superflex rookie draft. Okay, cool. Perfect. I think we only do 2 rounds for now. I don't think we're going to be able to really know more than like 2 rounds worth of information here after day 1. But I am going to go ahead and put this link in that Discord chat for you guys to join. Let me put myself at the 106. I'll have myself make some difficult decisions here, but that link is in there. It will be first come, first serve. However, as that is filling up, I do have some very exciting news for you guys. We do have a giveaway on today's stream. All right, if you want to enter today's giveaway, fairly simple. First step is to like the stream. The second step is to type draft day into the chat, all one word, no spaces. Now you might be asking, well, Zach, what exactly am I actually entering in here to win? Well, never before seen product from Dynastyland for the 2026 season. This is a product that we first launched last year. You guys loved it. We're bringing it back. And somebody on today's stream will be the first person in the entire world to get their eyes on the 2026 rookie tear down tool. All right, this is a tool that we again launched last year. The whole goal is to tell you, hey, if you've got the 101, if you've got the 102, 3, 4, if you've got the 105, 6, if you've got the 108, what can you tear down from these picks to get back in return, right? So if you want to enter today's giveaway, very simple. Again, you'll be the first person to ever set their eyes on the rookie teardown tool. It will be updated, obviously, as the draft goes as well. But all you have to do to enter is like the stream and then type draft day into the chat, all one single word. I appreciate you guys coming here and hanging out with me. I'm excited for you guys to see the rookie teardown tool. We'll update the draft guide and all that. But we are well and truly in the, truly, I would say, like, in the middle of Christmas. I don't know if you guys are like me, where this is the best day of the year for you. This is our Christmas. So if you're out there like me, congratulations, Merry Christmas. Okay, I just want to quickly talk about some things that happened from today and my initial reactions. And I want to hear from you guys, so please contribute into the chat, right? So first things first here. Obviously, we've got Jeremiah Love, who did end up going to the Arizona Cardinals. Now, for my rookie rankings, he will remain at the top here in the S tier, all on his own. We all know top 5 drafted running backs in the NFL never fail. Okay, since 2015, we've got a really healthy sample size. They're just not going to fail. Now, the negative here is obviously Tyler Algier, who we thought, oh, you know what? It would be fun to see what Algier can do as a starting running back. He just got underneath the thumb of the Bijan Robinson reign in Atlanta. He signs to the Cardinals, and then he just get cucked straight again, okay? Nobody's sitting in a chair longer watching the action than Tyler Algier for his entire career. So, unfortunately, if you have Tyler Algier, there is just not a career outcome where he's ever a top 20 finisher in fantasy football unless some sort of crazy injury occurs. But Jeremiah Love locked and loaded as the 101. We had him there before the draft. We'll have him after the draft. As you guys know, when you look at top 10 drafted players, they have a 100% hit rate for running backs and a 100% hit rate both star and superstar status. So there's just no scenario out there for myself where Jeremiah Love is not going to be the 101. Now, we'll talk about some of these other picks, obviously, as we get through it. I personally love the Carnell Tate move. There's not many. You want your receivers to be drafted top 10, right? Because historically, that means more than just being in the first round. But you want them to go in dream landing spots. Unfortunately, in this class, there's not many dream landing spots in the top 10. Carnell Tate lands to the Tennessee Titans. He is my wide receiver 1 in this class, and he is currently going to be my 102 off the board. Now, this is a fluid tier here. You will see Tyson at the 103 for me. Obviously, we all know Jordan Tyson was drafted at 8 to the Saints. If you were out there and you were a Tyson truther, why don't you go ahead and say in the chat, hey, that was me, okay? I knew what I was talking about. If you didn't waver off Tyson, everybody talking about the injuries and the concerns, no, I'm right there with you. Definitely thought he was still in that big 3. In fact, it might not even be a big 3 anymore. We'll have a conversation about it. But he joins Tyler Shuck. He joins Chris Olave. Now, to me, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but when I look at the Saints here, who's the biggest winner? You certainly can't say Chris Olave is the biggest winner. I don't think he's going to be drastically hurt by this, but you'd have to say Jordan Tyson, where are we at? Tyler Shuck is a huge winner. Now, does he not only have Chris Olave, they added Travis Etienne, who's great out of the backfield. You've got Juwan Johnson, who's a good pass catcher, but now you add a top 10 receiver in Jordan Tyson. You love to see that. Now, we will talk about like the Sadiq pick here in a second, the Omar Cooper pick. I just want to dive into Ty Simpson here for just a tiny second. Now, there has never been a scenario in my memory. You guys let me know if you're in a different position. But I have never been in a scenario personally where I've looked at a quarterback that was drafted to a scenario and thought, that's the best fit I've ever seen. Like, truly, wholeheartedly, to know that you're going to play alongside Sean McVay as your head coach, offensive guru, and Sean McVay thought you were worthy of a top 15 pick, okay? You got Puka Nacua you're going to play with long term. You've got a great run game already, a defense that's being built around your offense. I feel like Ty Simpson is the biggest winner of any rookie in this class, obviously. Right now, if you look at my rankings, I have him in this B tier, right around, I believe, my 7th or 8th ranked player, right in that range. So he's a huge winner. I'm absolutely floored for him. Mekhi Lemon, I think we're all assuming that A.J. Brown's going to be traded. Now, let's just get this out of the way. Clearly, if A.J. Brown is not traded, this is awful, okay? But it feels like a foregone conclusion, right? Why don't you go ahead and tell me in the chat, from a scale of 0 to 100%, how confident are you that A.J. Brown is going to be a Titan? How confident are you that he's going to be traded? Because let me tell you guys something. A team that historically has been built around the run with Jalen Hurts, not a high pass volume team, if they keep all 3 of those guys, I cannot see a scenario in which Mekhi Lemon gets 110 targets as a rookie. But I am fairly confident that A.J. Brown is going to be moved on from. In fact, I don't think you make this trade unless you believe you're about to move A.J. Brown. So I am ranking Mekhi Lemon today as if A.J. Brown is on a new team. He is currently my 5th ranked player in the class right here at the 105 for me. And again, that's assuming that they are going to trade A.J. Brown. If they don't, I mean, it's going to be a waiting game. It's going to be really frustrating. And that's just the God's honest truth, right? Like, they don't really thrive over the middle of the field. Jalen Hurts is not really someone that you want to rely on if you're a slot primary receiver. However, we don't know if Jalen Hurts is the future of this team. I also, in my projections, do believe that the Eagles are going to be a much more run-focused team in 2020. 2026 than they were in 2025. If you go back to 2024 when they won the Super Bowl, what was their offense really built around? It was built around the run game. I mean, they were up there top 5 in rushing attempts per game. I think they need to get back to that. So I believe, again, when I'm doing these rankings, that A.J. Brown will be a Patriot. But, man, if he doesn't, that's going to be really, really tricky to navigate. Okay, let's jump down here. What I really want to talk about is this last pick of the draft. And then we'll get into a rookie draft, I promise you. Like, we're about to hit start. There's so much to discuss. Jadarian Price. This has got to be, I mean, probably not a bigger surprise than Ty Simpson, but as far as impacting your 2026 rookie picks in a positive way, I don't think we can point to any other move, any other pick in this draft that has more positively impacted your 2026 rookie picks, right? If you're out there and you own the 106, 7, 8, kind of around that range, getting a first round running back, guys, I don't think you guys understand, okay? Like, this is best case scenario. Best case scenario, honestly, I would have been happy if Price was even a top 50 pick. And you need to understand something here for a second, guys. If Price was a top 50 pick, I would have been floored, thrilled, so excited, thanking the fantasy gods that these rookie picks are going to improve value, okay? But we get a first round pick? A first round pick? Now, do I believe Jadarian Price should be a first round player? Does it really matter? Like, no, I don't believe he's a first round talent. It's not a great class. So teams are maybe going to go more towards needs than like true best player available. But he goes in the first round. And here's the thing, like, when you look at historical hit rates, okay, and I've been preaching this for how long have you guys been watching the channel? When you look at star status, that is a top 24 point per game season for a running back, and they have to achieve that within their first 4 years. And this data is added after their second season, but you'll see round 1 running backs, by far the absolute best bet you can make. It's not even close, not even in the same stratosphere, okay? We're talking 86% hit rate for round 1 running backs, okay? Now, I told you guys earlier, I would have been floored if he was even a round 2 guy, because a round 2 running back has a 71% hit rate in this same stratosphere as star status, which is far better than even round 1 wide receivers at 54%. So if any running back in this class, I don't care what their name was going to be a second round pick, it was going to be a huge improvement for your rookie picks. Now you go ahead and you say, okay, really top 24 point per game season, that's not that impressive. Okay, well, let's change it to top 12 point per game season for your running backs, same time frame, same qualifiers. Again, a round 1 running back has a 78.6% hit rate since the year 2014. Wide receivers drop all the way to 30% in round 1. And again, round 2 running backs still are the second best bet to make, even above a wide receiver in round 1, a quarterback in round 1, a tight end in round 1. So this, I don't think I can overstate how truly massively positive this move is for your Dynasty rookie picks. Do I think he should have gone in the first round? No. Does it matter? No, because how in the world are you going to sit here and tell me, well, I don't like Jadarian Price enough that I'm going to fade him? In this class? Are you kidding me? In this class? In a scenario where he's joining one of the best defenses in the entire league, a team that just won the Super Bowl. What did they win the Super Bowl on? I don't know. Defense and the run game. Oh, Zach Charbonnet's out for pretty much the majority of the year. Might come back week 10 or later. Ken Walker is out of town. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You're not going to be excited to draft Jadarian Price in this class? He is instantly the RB1 on this team. Instantly, I'm probably going to project him for over 50% of the total team carry share. I mean, he's what my comparison to him was a J.K. Dobbins. I think that's probably what the Seahawks are getting, the current version of what J.K. Dobbins gave the Denver Broncos. So I'm really excited about it. Be curious to hear where you guys stand. At the moment, I have Jadarian Price as my 104. Now, he is in this tier though, okay? So this tier is fluid. Between Cardinal Tate to Mendoza, if you want to make a different decision, these are super flex rankings, then I would have Jadarian Price right here. If you think it's too high, we can talk about it. But I feel like I just gave a very clear case as to why Jadarian Price is worthy of being a top 4 pick in this class. And it's not like, are you really obsessed with, the wide receiver 2 in Philadelphia? At best, on an offense that doesn't really throw the ball that much, I love Mekhi Lemon, but that's the reality of the situation he's walking into. And he's not a top 10 wide receiver, right? You go and you look at the top 10 hit rates for our wide receivers, even top 10 superstar status is just a 40% hit rate, okay? You always want those guys to be top 10 to really have a backbone behind, because at least you can point towards those hit rates. The hit rates are far, far worse when you look outside the top 10 and you look at, pick 11 to 32, for example. But Mekhi Lemon's a great player. This could totally be the next JSN. I'm not anti-Mekhi Lemon. I'm just saying, if you're out there and you're like, there is no way you could put Price ahead of Lemon. Okay, maybe it's time to look in the mirror and say, am I sure about that? Am I sure about that? Okay, guys, we're going to jump into some Dynasty rookie drafts. We're going to have a lot of conversations. I want to hear from y'all. But again, if you haven't yet joined today's giveaway, someone on today's stream, in fact, maybe I'll do multiple giveaways, all right? I'll do a giveaway if we hit 100. I'll do another giveaway if we give 150, and then maybe 200, right? Maybe we'll have 3 people get their eyes on the rookie teardown tool for the first time before anyone else in human history. All you have to do to enter the giveaway is like the stream, and then after that, type our code word, which for today is draft day. Make sure there are no spaces when you type today's giveaway code. Okay, should we jump into a real rookie draft? Later on, we will do some team playbooks, but let's go ahead and jump in here. We'll do a 12-team Superflex 0.5 premium rookie mock draft. Here we go. Let's go ahead and jump in. TD Vultures here at the 101. I think we all know what's going to go down, but why don't you tell me in the chat, what was the biggest surprise for you? What caught you off guard the most? I think for me, I feel like it's got to be the Ty Simpson pick. That was by far like, oh my gosh, wow, this is the future of Sean McVay's offense. Connor says, what is historical hit rate for running backs that didn't reach 700 yards in their declare season? I don't know the information to that off the top of my head, Connor, but I think you also need to contextualize the fact that he was behind the number 3 overall pick in the class. So I don't think that's exactly a apples to apples comparison if you were to even do that research, right? In fact, some NFL teams might be obsessed with the idea that, hey, there's not as much mileage on a Jadarian Price compared to some of these other running backs that are coming into the league, right? So, yes, I appreciate y'all being here, hanging out. Again, this is Christmas for us, and hopefully TD Vultures is with us, and we can get Jeremiah Love off the board here and get this thing rolling. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and enter in Jeremiah Love for him because we all know that's going to be the pick. Okay. Jeremiah Love comes off the board at the 101. I think this is where people are wanting to see where everyone's mindset's at, as Carnell Tate does come off the board at the 102. And you know what? Like, I want to get into a bunch of mock drafts. So again, if you guys want to get into a mock draft with me, just make sure that you've joined the Discord, because I will be sending all the links under the land community in the mock drafts tab. Okay, so we'll get into a bunch of mock drafts here. We'll have a lot of conversations, and wow, there you go. Just like that, Jadarian Price is off the board at the 103. It's crazy because we're in this really weird limbo, guys, where I wholeheartedly believe that as prospects, I would absolutely rank Mekhi Lemon, Jordan Tyson above Jadarian Price as prospects. But history tells us that this is not a crazy thing to consider. History says, hey, it's very difficult to get these running backs that you can rely on getting 20 touches per game, 15 plus touches per game. It's a lot easier to fill out your wide receiver room. So positional scarcity, obviously, plays a little bit of a factor here. Historical hit rates play a little bit of a factor in here. And also the landing spot. Like, I'm not someone who thinks Jadarian Price is worth a first round pick in the NFL draft, but I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say, like, I can't see him getting 1,000 yards. I would be shocked if Jadarian Price doesn't reach 1,000 yards in his rookie year. Like, genuinely. I would be truly shocked. How is he not going to reach 1,000 yards? I mean, guys, the depth chart, he's competing with, no disrespect, Emmanuel Wilson, who was signed for pennies. George Halani. I mean, it's just, how in the world does he not reach 1,000 yards as a rookie? Okay. Let's go ahead and let's jump in here at the 106. And yeah, I'm on the board. I do think Mekhi Lemon's easily the pick for me here. A lot of people are going to ask the question, you know, where's your tier breaks right now? For me, and not everybody's going to feel the same about this, for me, the tier break is still at the 106. I still believe that's where the tier break is. So that it's actually extended from the 105 to the 106, and that's because of Jadarian Price. However, in saying that, I do believe that that 107, 8, 9, 10 range is a lot stronger today than we were projecting it. And that's not because of Kenyon Sadiq. It's not because of Concepcion. It's not because of Omar Cooper, because none of that was surprising. It's because of Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson is what really strengthens that 107 to that 110 range, in my humble opinion. Dub G says, why bother scouting? We toss it all out immediately after the draft and just trust draft capital. I don't think that's true, though. I don't think that's true. I feel like you need to do a combination of both. I feel like the best minds in the industry are not so heavily reliant on only their eyes, but they're also reliant on some sort of unbiased historical numbers and research that they can rely on as well. And that's where I ultimately try to land there. Well, those are, unless I'm mistaken, that's all the players that were drafted in round 1, right? I mean, you guys let me know if I'm wrong here, but that's all the players that were drafted in round 1. So, this might be interesting from here on out. In fact, I might get another mock draft coming up here. If this were to be how your rookie draft ADP were to finish, who do you guys think ends up being the best value on the board? You know, if this is how it were to look, who do you guys think would be the best value right now if this ended up being consensus ADP, right? That's the question I'm asking you at this present moment. In fact, I don't think we really need to do more than one round at a time when we're doing these rookie drafts, just because we don't really have any new information. But very clearly, I mean, let's make this very clear. The players that are historically, based off of hit rates, going to be drastically hurt by day one, Denzel Boston. Denzel Boston, I mean, let me just say this again. If you have the 111 and the 112, you're going to have to hope for some running backs going in round 1 tomorrow, because I do not see a scenario in which people are hyped about those picks, man. I mean, a round 2 receiver at best. Maybe Eli Stowers. I think that 110, that 111 and 12, there's a steep cutoff for me now at that point of the board. I don't know where you guys stand, but I think that cutoff is drastic. And when I say drastic, I mean drastic, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we're currently at 96 likes, which is awesome. I told you guys earlier that we are doing a giveaway for our rookie tear down tool. This is a tool that we created last year and essentially tells you how to gain the most value out of your first round rookie picks. Now, if you guys want to enter to win this, all you have to do is like the stream and then type draft day into the chat. That is our code word for today. Now, once we reach 100 likes, I'll do a giveaway and we'll give the first version away to somebody. And then if we reach 150, we'll do another one. If we reach 200, we'll do another one. So appreciate you guys hanging in there. We are going to get into another rookie mock draft here. If you want to join this rookie mock draft, and I know it says one quarterback, but we'll treat it as super flex. Then I'm going to send this link into our Discord channel here for you guys to come join me. And we'll go ahead and get this filled up. Now, while we're getting that filled up, just want to let you guys know that on Monday night, just a quick little break here for you guys. On Monday night, very exciting news, okay? This will be the first time where we have a real land league that is streamed on the channel where people are drafting Dynasty rookies, not rookie picks, okay? You're drafting real Dynasty rookies. You'll be drafting Jeremiah Love. We'll see how high Jadarian Price goes. If you want to be part of a real league that matters, then I would highly, highly encourage you, if you have not yet done so, then go ahead and consider joining a land league. The steps are very simple. All you have to do is become a promo code LAND annual with a Flocker member, and then you can enter the league on the website with your information. But again, guys, I appreciate y'all big time for being here. If you want to be a part of a league, if you want to get a team playbook, a customized review on today's stream, I can have a look at your teams, the trade question voucher, all of that jazz. It's available to you guys now. I think at the moment, if I'm not mistaken, guys, we have 6 spots remaining in the Artemis League, and we're going to raffle off any remaining spots on Sunday night. So if you want to get a guaranteed spot, now's the time to sign up. Please DM me if you have any questions. I'd love to get you guys into a real land league. Okay, let's jump into mock draft number 2 here. I am on the clock to start. It will be Jeremiah Love, no surprise. Again, I would love for you guys to join us here over on the Discord. As after Jeremiah Love, we do get Carnell Tate, Jordan Tyson. So in this one, we see Tyson go ahead of Jadarian Price. But I don't know what other people are saying. Oh my gosh, wow. I don't know what other people are saying when they're creating rookie content for you guys, but I truly would be shocked if Jadarian Price doesn't end up being top 4 in Dynasty rookie ADP. Like, at the end of the day, I'm not saying that that's the right pick. I'm just saying based off of history and based off of historical hit rates, I would be genuinely shocked if the consensus doesn't put Jadarian Price inside the top 4, honestly. Now, Casey Concepcion at the 104 is interesting to say the least. Let's take a little break here and have a conversation. We haven't talked about Casey Concepcion. At the moment, if you look at my rookie rankings, I have Concepcion right at my 107. So I do think he was drafted a little too high here at the 104. But I do have him as the first player in that 3rd tier of my Dynasty rookie rankings. And I have him ahead of Omar Cooper, Sadiq. If you're in a big premium, you'll put Sadiq ahead of him, obviously. But assuming it's just like a 0.5 tight end premium, I do have Concepcion higher. And you might be asking, like, why? He's on the Browns. Like, Zach, are you serious? Like, you're excited about... No, of course I'm not excited about him being on the Browns. What I'm excited about is the fact that there is not a single soul in that receiver room that is going to challenge him to be the number 1 wide receiver. In fact, I believe that you will find out very quickly what Casey Concepcion is made of in the NFL. If he is able to stay healthy, which there's no reason why we would suggest that he's not, but Harold Fannin is obviously a target earner. Outside of Harold Fannin, I mean, who's gonna challenge this guy? It's funny, I did my projections last week for the 2026 season. When I went to the Browns, I thought, I'm not even gonna project any target share for these guys yet, because I just feel like I'm confident they're gonna draft a receiver, and that's gonna change things. And that's where we are, right? I mean, right now it's Jerry Jeudy, Cedric Tillman, Isaiah Bond. If he doesn't lead this team in target share, if he doesn't have at least a 20% target share in year 1, I would be genuinely surprised, and it would honestly be quite damning for the rest of his career. But I do think he is a really exciting pick at the back end of your rookie drafts. Don't think I could take him at the 104. That offense is probably not going to be that good. And really, target share is the main thing that you're holding on to with a Concepcion at that point. Fernando Mendoza off the board at the 107. You know, there's not really a lot to talk about with Mendoza, because I think we all knew that this was the pick in January. You know, when was the college football championship? I don't remember. Whenever that was and that finished, I think we all kind of assumed that it was going to be Mendoza to the Raiders at pick number 1. After that, we get Ty Simpson at the 108 and Omar Cooper at the 109. I mean, man, if Ty Simpson hits, this could be, if you're out there, guys, and you're in a 1-year punt, or you are in a rebuild, and you can pick up Ty Simpson, which, by the way, this is exactly what I told you guys last year with Jackson Dart. If you can go back and you can watch any of my content last year. No, I wasn't a huge Jackson Dart guy, but I said, guys, if you're out there and you're a rebuilding roster, a 1-year punt, then you can potentially strike gold in Superflex leagues just by taking a quarterback that is going to fall because, 1, they weren't obsessed with him as a prospect, and 2, because he's not going to play straight away. And that's the ultimate case with Ty Simpson as well. However, Ty Simpson is set up even better than Jackson Dart, by far better than Jackson Dart. And I am not the biggest Ty Simpson guy. Like, if we go and we look at my rookie report, let's read my write-up on... I'm not anti-Ty Simpson by any means, if I remember properly. So I'm not anti-Ty Simpson whatsoever. But we compared him to Alex Smith. We thought Alex Smith was a ceiling outcome. Now think about like the ceiling of what Alex Smith brought that Kansas City offense. Like that's kind of those years where it was Tyreek Hill, it was Travis Kelce, and Alex Smith leading the way. I'm not sitting here claiming that he's going to guaranteed be as good as Alex Smith in that era, but I do think he has some real potential with the offense that he's going to be surrounded by. In fact, I will add the written summaries for the post-draft rookie report version, but this is my written summary for Ty Simpson. I said, I think Ty Simpson is a better prospect than most people are willing to give him credit for. Above average arm talent, stellar velocity on intermediate throws, and probably the best accuracy on short to intermediate passes in the entire class. And I would stand behind that even over Fernando Mendoza. He understands progressions, can get to multiple reads, and overcame really subpar receiver room while valuing possession at Alabama. The big concern, and clearly we have to talk about this, is he has 15 career starts. Now, the reason I was concerned about Ty Simpson is because historically, the guys who have only started 15 or less games or 1 year or less in college, they typically struggle out of the gate big time. Like big time. It takes them a long while to really get their bearings in the NFL. However, with that in mind, he can't change that. We can't change that about Ty Simpson. But where could you have placed him in the NFL where that concern could be more alleviated by the fact that he's going to sit behind a first ballot Hall of Famer in Matthew Stafford? You know what I mean? So as much as that's a concern, I just don't think you could have possibly dreamt up a better scenario for a Ty Simpson, given the concerns that we had about the player coming in. Okay, let's jump into another one. Nick Singleton goes at the 112. That's hilarious. We'll jump into a couple more rookie mock drafts here. Again, if you guys want to join, you can join the Discord. We're not going to do more than one round right now just because there's still so much that's unknown. And ultimately, I think it'd be silly for us to kind of try and project day two. We're 1 day out from day two. We'll let day two handle day two. In the Discord, under the LAN tab, the mock drafts link, I will put a link in there for you guys, and I'll have you guys join me. Again, appreciate y'all big time for being here. It is Christmas for me. I hope it's Christmas for you guys as well. I can go ahead and tell y'all that we did reach our first like goal of 100. In fact, we're already at 124. Second like goal is 150. So I'm going to do all the giveaways at one time for the rookie teardown tool. Okay. But it depends. I'll give it away however many times we reach our like goal. First goal was 100. Second goal was 150. Third goal is 200. So if we somehow reach all those goals, I'll end up giving the rookie teardown tool to 3 people on today's stream. But as of right now, we're go ahead and locked and loaded on at least one person getting the rookie teardown tool and laying their eyes on it for the first time. Okay, we've got another one here. I'm going to jump in. Jeremiah Love going to be the pick at the 101. I think we do need to have a brief discussion about Jeremiah Love and just talk about his rookie season. Because while this does kill Tyler Algier, I do think that there is some potential where we were annoyed about Bijan Robinson getting cucked at the goal line. His rookie year with the Falcons. Now, Arthur Smith was your OC at that time. I got to admit, I don't think Tyler Algier is going to be someone who's getting, 20% of the carries. Tyler Algier could be your Zach Charbonnet. He could be the thorn in the side of Jeremiah Love owners as a rookie. But clearly, long term, I don't see a scenario where Jeremiah Love is kept out of, these opportunities inside the 10-yard line. But Tyler Algier is a quality player. He's a quality player. So that's just something small that I think we should probably keep in mind when we project him for his first year. Again, appreciate all of y'all being in the chat. I see you guys. Papa Dunk. Over 400 people watching. That's crazy. You guys are awesome, man. I appreciate y'all being here. You talking says Simpson was good until he hurt his back. He had some really great highs at Alabama this year and some really low lows at Alabama this year. That's for sure. Ryan asked, what if Stowers, Boston, Surratt all get good landing spot? That seems dramatic. I think he's talking about the fact that I said there's a huge drop-off from the 110 to the 111, 112 range. And respectfully, I don't think I'm overreacting at all. I mean, if you look at round 2 hit rates for receivers, I mean, you are very much shooting fish in the ocean with a rifle. Okay, so you look at historical hit rates. Round 2 receivers, even just to hit a top 24 point per game season since 2014, that number plummets to just 35% hit rate. So respectfully, no, I don't think I'm overreacting. I don't think there is much that can happen tomorrow outside of a running back going in round 2 that's going to drastically save your 111 and your 112 in rookie drafts. You guys can disagree. That's completely fine. But there's not a quarterback that's going to save it, especially in this class. There's not a tight end that's going to save it. As much as I love Stowers, Stowers is still traditionally, think about it, guys. Last year in 2025, think about this for a second. We had Colson Loveland and Tyler Warren consistently being drafted at the 201 and the 202 in your Superflex rookie drafts. I'm not saying that happened in your draft. I'm saying that consistently happened in drafts across the board. So to sit here and say that, I'm overreacting, respectfully, I just disagree heavily. I think you might be underreacting, my friend. And I think you might also have the 111 and the 112. And look, I get it. I'm in a lot of leagues where I was competitive, where I was in the finals this year, and I'm looking at those 111s and 112s and thinking, damn, I mean, we almost reached a more manageable perspective there. But again, with all due respect, I think you might be underreacting. There is nothing that can happen in round 2 except for running backs going off the board that would help the 110, 111, 112 range. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion on the matter. But of course, doesn't mean I'm going to be right. It's just how I feel. All right, if you guys want to join this one, I'm going to put this one in the YouTube chat. It is free game at this point, completely free game. Would love for you guys to come join me. I gave you guys a little pump fake there. I apologize, but I wanted to see some new people get in. I want to see some more faces here. Chasing Breaker says, the NFL told us what they thought about this class tonight. My interpretation is that they saw the skill positions as shallow and not worth moving up for. I don't know if anybody else felt this way. I was surprised how many offensive linemen went off the board. Am I the only one? Because I did not hear, maybe I wasn't listening well enough, but I did not hear anybody out there go, oh man, this offensive lineman class is stacked. Is that just me? I didn't hear anyone that hyped about this class like that. He says OL was top heavy, but that's the thing. Like we saw how many offensive linemen went off the board in this year's draft. Let's pause here for 1 second because that to me was surprising. We had, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. So we had 8 come off the board. Maybe I'm being over dramatic then, or I'm remembering it incorrectly. But what a weird class. Like, what a fun, exciting draft. I think because we set the expectations so low, we actually probably enjoyed today's draft more than we would have had we had high expectations. So, you win some, you lose some. Okay, we do have Carnell Tate at the 102, Jordan Tyson at the 103, Mekhi Lemon at the 104, and Jadarian Price at the 105. I will say that with Mekhi Lemon, while I have Price ranked ahead of him, this is not meant to be disrespectful toward Devonta Smith, but if A.J. Brown does move on, I could totally see a scenario in which Mekhi Lemon out-targets Devonta Smith in year 2 or 3, right? Not as a rookie. That certainly is not going to happen. But this idea of him playing primarily out of the slot, which is what I projected, I don't think he's going to play outside with the Eagles. Kind of like this funnel engine through the slot where he might get, it's not meant to be disrespectful, but like a better version of Wan'Dale Robinson. I know people hate it when I say that, but like a real juiced up, really effective after the catch version of what Wan'Dale Robinson was for the Giants. So you might see him get, 20 more targets than Smith in year 2 or 3, but the ADOT's going to be significantly lower. Okay, here we are on the board. We did get Mendoza. For me, I am going to go Cooper here. Who am I missing in that top 10? It would have been Ty Simpson. If I could take that back, I probably would have taken Ty Simpson over Omar Cooper. They're in the same tier for me, but playing the waiting game on Simpson, I think, has a really significant upside play. And let's just quickly talk about Omar Cooper. We haven't dived into Omar Cooper too much yet. I never projected him personally to be, some wide receiver 1 in the NFL. When you look at Omar Cooper, he was my wide receiver, I think 5 or 6 coming into this class. I don't know if we updated this yet. But Pierre Garçon, Jarvis Landry were my favorite comps for him as far as like a true upside outcome. And you look at the Jets, I don't know how to be all that excited about this outside of Omar Cooper's being a round 1 pick. Because if we're being honest with ourselves, you add Kenyon Sadiq, so now there are at least 2 targets earners you have to worry about. Hopefully Sadiq becomes a target earner. You've got Garrett Wilson. With no disrespect intended to Omar Cooper, I'm sorry, but you're not the same prospect as a Garrett Wilson. And in an offense that has been really bad, they could obviously improve. They have a lot of future draft capital. The next year's class looks good. But an offense that's been really bad should improve with Geno Smith. I have higher expectations with Geno. But what I'm trying to get at here is, are we sure this is not like at most Jordan Addison ceiling? You know what I mean? I struggle to see a scenario in which in a year from now we're all saying, man, I've confidently got Omar Cooper as a top 15 dynasty receiver. I struggle to see that outcome being realistic. And I don't know. You guys can let me know if that's just me. But we're excited because Omar Cooper got in the first round. I don't think we're really that excited about this landing spot. I mean, think about the other spots we thought were potentially viable, like Buffalo with DJ Moore, like San Francisco. I just don't know that I'm obsessed with this landing spot. And again, Jordan Addison is not a bad player by any means, and Joel says nothing wrong with Jordan Addison. So yeah, I'm not anti the Omar Cooper pick at all. I just am worried that we might be hyping it up a little bit too much. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know that this changes a lot for Omar Cooper. If you had him kind of projected before the draft to be in rookie drafts like the 110, 109, 111, I mean, thank God he went in the first round, but I don't know that, I'm singing the praises of Omar Cooper now. Okay, I put a link in the mock drafts. We'll do a couple more here. Again, I appreciate y'all being here, hanging out with me on day 1, round 1 of the NFL draft. If you're just joining us, we are doing a giveaway for our rookie tear down tool. It's the first time that this tool will be publicly available. So one of you guys will have your eyes on it for the first time in the history of humanity. Okay, that's dramatic, but it's true. So if you want to enter, all you have to do, like the stream and then type our code word for today, which is draft day with no spaces. I do want to also emphasize that there's a lot of people out there who want to get in a land league. And I would heavily encourage you guys that if you've been waiting to get into a land league, if you've been waiting to join the community, there has never been a better time than right now. Why do I say that? Well, we currently have 6 spots remaining. Every brand new member gets a guaranteed spot in our newest league, the Artemis League, on landleagues.com. If you want to enter to be a part of this league, it's fairly simple. All you have to do, and I'll put a link in the pinned comment for you guys, become a promo code LAND annual Mother Flocker member. You're going to support the show. In return, you get premium access to landleagues.com. You get fast tracked into the Artemis League. I can guarantee that to the first 6 people from here on out. The other 6 spots are already filled. You get the trade question vouchers, the hotline with 6 vouchers there, guaranteed live team playbook, review of your dynasty team. What do you want to do with your rookie picks? We've talked about this a lot, but I think more than ever before, the war room which is a benefit of you being a member, a benefit of you getting a team playbook. The War Room is going to be more beneficial today than ever before because I am going to help people on today's stream, this stream here, come up with a specific game plan for their Dynasty rookie picks. And they will be able to get that game plan today. I'll export it for them today. They'll have it instantly through our Discord. So again, we've got 6 spots remaining. The first 6 people who become brand new members get a guaranteed spot. And that league is drafting on Monday night. It'll be the first league that we draft in where we're drafting rookies instead of rookie picks. We've got 1 spot remaining here. And we are full. So let's go ahead and jump into this rookie mock draft. We'll do a couple more. But again, I appreciate y'all hanging out with us and showing some love. All right, I want to hear some. I've talked a lot. I want to hear from you guys, okay? Put your questions in the chat, all right? If there's something that I've said, you said, you know what, that Zach guy sounds like an idiot. Why don't you go ahead and give me any questions that you've got? I would love to hear the back and forth. Waffle Boy says, I can't be the only one who hates Love's landing spot. No need for 4 RB1s on the same team. Well, really, I hear where you're coming from, but to me, in my opinion, this pick of Jeremiah Love makes all the other running backs completely irrelevant. Right? Oh, wow, I can't believe I'm getting Carnell Tate at the 104. That's chaos. But again, you look at their depth chart, I would just disagree that they have 4 RB1s. Algier is going to play a part, but this is a very clear signal that they don't trust James Conner. They clearly don't trust Trey Benson. Oh my gosh, has there ever been a more cooked player than Trey Benson? I mean, let me look at my rankings. I'm pretty sure I updated this when I saw that pick. Trey Benson is now my RB60, and I don't even know if that's low enough. Truthfully, guys, I don't know if that's low enough. RB60, like, I'm going to have to absolutely bury the guy. Like, it's so funny because before the draft, I thought, you know what? It's a bad running back class. Trey Benson was actually really effective when he had opportunities. But this just, to me, this just says Benson, James, Conner, Tyler Algier, you're an afterthought. You guys are fighting to be the reliever in this backfield. So that's how I would view it personally. Although not everybody's gonna agree or disagree, and that's fine. Hopefully Trey Benson can be traded. I mean, imagine Trey Benson gets traded to somewhere, you know, that has an open competition. Like, I still think that Trey Benson would potentially beat out like a Tony Pollard in Tennessee, hypothetically. Yeah. Aiden says, are you worried about price when Zach Charbonnet comes back? Honestly, my answer, Aiden, is a strong no. I'll tell you why, and I could be wrong, but this is just my perspective, so here where I'm coming from. You've got Zach Charbonnet on the last year of his rookie contract. You have a Seattle Seahawks team who, with their actions, just showed you they did not want to sign Kenneth Walker to a long-term deal. Kenneth Walker, better player than Zach Charbonnet. Zach Charbonnet, coming off a serious injury, will play maybe a couple weeks of the 2026 season. Maybe he comes back week 10. I'm not sure exactly what date it will be, right? But that's like best case scenario, correct? And then he's a free agent. Are the Seahawks really going to sign Zach Charbonnet to a significant deal? Something that tells us that he's important to their team after they just drafted Jadarian Price in round 1 this year? I don't see a world where that makes any sense. At the same time, I don't think Jadarian Price is worth a first-round pick, so it's hard to say. But yeah, I don't really believe that that Zach Charbonnet is a big problem. What do you guys think, though? I'd love to hear from you guys in the chat if you agree or disagree with that take. I think it would be fun for you guys. Would you like to see where I currently have these rookies ranked in the overall Dynasty rankings? Now, we've already shown you my rookie rankings, okay? So we've already gone to Superflex, and we've shown you what my rookie rankings look like as of today. Would you like to see where I have these guys ranked in the scheme of Dynasty overall? Because we can take a second and do that as well, if you'd like to. Papa Dunk says, I've seen Mendoza go 102 in Superflex, or he goes 105 in Superflex. Where do you stand on the idea of quarterback position scarcity in Superflex, and is Mendoza more than those big 3 wide receivers? I would still, same as I felt before the draft, wherever you sat on Mendoza before, I think is where you should sit now. He's still in that tier with Tate, Tyson, Lemon, and now we add Price to that tier. I don't really see a scenario in which Mendoza is ever, finishing. I think he could finish top 10 for sure. Maybe like Brock Purdy in a sense. But I don't see a scenario where Mendoza's ever going to be, we're a year out and it's like, oh wow, Mendoza's the 101 in Superflex startups. Like, he doesn't have that rushing appeal. Yes, he's effective on the goal line as a rusher, and he'll have plenty of years where he has 4 or 5 rushing touchdowns. But I would say that if all these players hit their peak, from what I can see they can become, then I would say Tate, Tyson, and Lemon would probably be a more valuable asset, in my opinion. But that doesn't mean that I'm right. It's just my take on the situation. Okay, why don't we go ahead and let's dive into where I have these guys ranked in my overall Dynasty rankings. I am going to jump into some team playbooks here soon. But let's go ahead and let's start with Jeremiah Love. So Jeremiah Love, at this present moment in time, I have ranked as my RB4, right behind Genty, but in the same tier. I truthfully do not mind if you prefer one over the other. I'm not going to fight you at this present moment in time, but I do have Jeremiah Love and Ashton Genty back to back. When we look at our Land Leagues ADP, these are all real drafts that have happened. You can see that Genty and the 101 were already back to back in real drafts. Genty, the 12th overall player drafted on average. The 101, the 13th overall player on average drafted in real leagues. That's where I would stand still. Going top 3, that's the highest drafted running back since what, Saquon Barkley? So definitely historically, it's a very good sign for him. Now, on the opposite end of that spectrum, I had to drastically move down Tyler Algier. I believe Tyler Algier was like my RB. He was in my top 30, right there around JCM. And I had to move him all the way down to running back 42. He is nothing but a handcuff at this point, unfortunately. Let's go on to Jadarian Price. Where do I have Jadarian Price at this moment in time? Let's show you guys the rankings here. Where do you guys think I have him? Where do you guys think I have him ranked? He's a little bit of a unique case. And I say that because you're talking about a player that was sat behind the RB1, the clear RB1 in the class, okay, for the vast majority of the year. However, he goes round 1. Now, we can talk about how Jadarian Price has no history of being a reliable pass-catching running back, and that would be true. However, when you're behind Jeremiah Love, you're not going to get many targets. Most of those targets are going to go to Jeremiah Love, okay? That's just straight facts. So it's hard to really say is he capable of it, because he was never really asked to do it at Notre Dame. I currently today would have Jadarian Price in this 4th tier, and I would have him with the names of Javonte Williams. I'm higher on Javonte than the average person here. Javonte, Brees, Bucky, Henderson, Scatterboo, Price. I honestly struggled. Because Kyron and Brown are so proven, I thought I should maybe even put him ahead of those guys. And maybe in hindsight, it might be too high. But I don't think Jadarian Price is a better prospect than Judkins was last year. I don't think he's a better prospect than Henderson was last year. Scatterboo has already proven that he can be a high producer for fantasy football, not only on the ground, but also in the air. I do think you can make a case like Bucky. He has a lot to prove this year. If there's a scenario where Breece Hall has to sign long-term in New York, that might be difficult to put him over Jadarian Price. Now, again, from a talent evaluation, is he better than anybody in this tier as prospects? As prospects, you'd probably put him on the same level as a Bucky Irving, Scatterboo, Kyron Williams, Chase Brown, right? In the sense of didn't expect any of those guys to be round 1 picks, right? Now, we're not talking about hindsight here. Obviously, in hindsight, Bucky Irving would have been drafted higher. In hindsight, Kyron Williams, Chase Brown would have been drafted higher. Okay? But I don't think he's a better prospect than Javonte coming out of North Carolina. Certainly not Brees out of Ohio State, and Brees was a second-round pick. Javonte was a second-round pick. Henderson was a second-round pick. At the same time, this is a guy where you have to contextualize so many different factors here. Whether you like it or not, the Seahawks took him in round 1. History says that's a very, very safe bet to make. So I think that's where he's deserving of being. I don't know where he will ultimately settle for me, but that's where I would have him at this present moment in time. Okay. How about receivers? Okay, let's talk about it. And let's move the... I don't have any of the receivers in this class in the top 10 of my Dynasty rankings today. So right now... And that's not going to change, by the way. Like, there's nothing that can happen in this class where I move London, McMillan, Pickens down, you know, versus some of these other players. Mason said there's a full screen. My bad. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so right now that's my top 10. Tate has been my wide receiver 1 since December when I came out with my first rankings. He will remain my wide receiver 1 in this class, and I have put him right around wide receiver 14. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Top 5 pick. I think he's a very good player. I think he's a very good prospect. I think he is disrespected because he's played alongside Jeremiah Smith. I probably need to move Olave down after the Jordan Tyson pick. But this is where I would put Carnell Tate. People are going to agree. They're going to disagree. Here's the thing. If Carnell Tate comes out and he has... What's low expectations for him? Clearly going to be the number 1 target in Tennessee. Like, let's be for real, guys. I mean, I know we have Wan'Dale Robinson there. But how in the world does Carnell Tate not see 22% target share in year 1? I don't know. I don't know how. So he's going to probably see a high target share in year 1. We don't know what Cam Ward is capable of just yet. But if he puts up just, let's be reasonable, 60 receptions, 990 yards, and 6 touchdowns. And we also see Cam Ward taking a next step. I think people would probably try and put him inside their top 10. So I think Tate, it's difficult to judge the situation that he's stepping into because when Alec Omanor and Chimere DK are your number 1 weapons, it's really difficult to actually say what Cam Ward is capable of. But I will put Carnell Tate here right at 14, ahead of Nico Collins. The reason I've done that is because we know historically, based off our trends, if you watched our video this year, we talked about the only receivers to build around. We know based off historical trends that Nico Collins has no chance to improve his value here on out. No chance. It's not going to happen. Okay? So if you want to take Collins over Tate, I'm fine with that. But you also need to recognize that there is no scenario in which Nico Collins improves his value here on out. History tells us that. History tells us that. Okay? It's not my opinion. It's just the trends are all very clear that when you reach his age, it's about a 80% chance that you're going to decrease value from one year to the next. Let alone the amount of years he hasn't been able to, finish a year healthy, right? But it was tough between like him and Igbuka, to be honest with you guys. I might even move Igbuka over Collins. Okay, let's go into tier D. This is where you're going to see a couple other of these receivers come up. So this is where I will put Jordan Tyson at 21 and Mekhi Lemon at the end of this tier at 25. Now again, we're assuming that A.J. Brown is gone. But that is just an assumption at this very present moment in time. Okay? So we're assuming A.J. Brown's gone. And if A.J. Brown stays, I don't think Lemon deserves to be in this tier. But I don't see a clear pathway where Lemon becomes a wide receiver 1 in this offense. He might be the number 1 target, but I don't see a pathway for him to be the number 1 receiver unquestioned. It's always going to be a 1B, 1A, whatever. Richard says, hard disagree. He just turned 27. And Richard, that's exactly what the research tells you. That's exactly what I'm talking about, my friend. We have literally done the research. We've looked at the last 5 years of rookie startup ADP. And history tells you 80% of the time, okay, a receiver is going to lose value. Now, what I did not just say is Nico Collins is not a good player. What I did not just say is that you can't win championships with Nico Collins. None of those words were said. But what I told you is it is an absolute lock that he will lose value from here on out in Dynasty football. That's just a fact. 80% of the time, you can go look at this video from 3 weeks ago. We did this research. So it's not like I'm just like throwing something out of my ass here, guys. But yeah, this is where I would put Tyson. I can see a scenario in which Burden becomes a wide receiver 1 in Chicago, so I was a little bit hesitant there. I do think Odunze was a better prospect, so I want to give him some time. Jordan Tyson, I don't see becoming the one over Olave in the first couple of years. However, he could be ranked too low. If you're upset about Tyson there, I get that. We've got Zay Flowers here, who just had a really loved season. I think Zay Flowers is a screaming buy. I've been saying this for a long time. He had a great well, when I say a long time, I mean multiple months, not years. I was anti him a couple years ago. But he had a great year in 2025. There's no target share at all. Round 1, Zay Flowers was a huge winner. It's a brand new coaching staff. They could throw more in Baltimore as well. Marvin Harrison, his story's not over. Brian Thomas, his story's not over. That's where I stand today. Okay? Let's go into this next tier. In this next tier, this is where you will see the likes of Concepcion and the likes of Omar Cooper. Concepcion I have at 28. Late first round is certainly not any guarantee historically. It's not any guarantee at all whatsoever. Okay? However, Concepcion does have a chance, unlike Jameson Williams, where he can become the true number 1 in his offense. After Concepcion, we have Cooper at the end of this tier, and quite frankly, I don't know if that's like too high on Omar Cooper. I'm not really sure exactly where I sit with him at this moment. Like, do I really feel like Cooper deserves to be in a tier ahead of Addison? Do I really believe that Cooper deserves to be in a tier ahead of, Alec Pierce? Probably. But maybe Addison's deserving of moving up a tier there, if I'm looking at it that way. So, that's where I stand right now with the receivers. Why don't you go ahead and fight me in the comment section? I'm kidding. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. I want to hear your takes. But that's where I stand right now. I do think Tate is the clear wide receiver 1. If I had the 102 in 10 drafts, I'm probably taking Tate in 9 of them. Right? I mean, he has a clear opportunity to be the highest target earner of the class. He was given the most respect from draft capital perspective. And there's a lot of unknown there. There's a lot of upside. There's a lot of risk. But that's just kind of the reality of this class. Okay, and last thing we'll do here before we announce our giveaway winners is we will go to our tight end rankings. So, obviously at the top, it's no surprise. You've got Bowers, McBride, Loveland, Warren. In B, I have Fannin and Kraft. In C, this is where we add Kenyon Sadiq. It's not a surprise. I have not been the biggest Sadiq truther out there. I do believe that we're obsessed with the athlete rather than the pass catcher. And typically history tells us that if you are a freak athlete, you have a really great chance of being a successful receiving tight end in the NFL, right? Athleticism has high correlation to fantasy tight end success. However, I do think there is a long road ahead of him where he needs to improve as a route runner. After the catch, I don't feel like he's actually all that freaky. He's a freak athlete, but he doesn't move all that crazy after the catch. But I have to put him personally over this D tier. I have to put him over Gadsden. Kittle with his age, I have to put him over Kittle, Kincaid, Ferguson. But I would pretty comfortably take Laporta and Pitts over him. In fact, I don't really understand why you would take Sadiq over Pitts outside of being like a brand new shiny toy, because Pitts has basically learned everything you want Sadiq to learn, and Pitts is still quite young. So that's where I stand right now. So Out of all of the ranking updates that we've made, which are you most upset about? All right, which are the ones that you want to fight me over the most? So I want to hear from you in the comment section. I'll be honest though, I think some of you guys are being too harsh on Sadiq. While I don't really love him as a prospect, compared to like consensus NFL draft world, I do think some of you guys are being a little bit unfair. He's very clearly going to be the number 1 receiving tight end on that team. Geno Smith is a big upgrade. I think this helps their run game for sure. I think he's an underrated blocker. So I think you guys are maybe a little bit. I think you guys are a little bit, based off the comment section, a little too hatey on Kenyon Sadiq. But that's where the updated rankings land. Okay, guys, this is your last chance. Last chance to enter today's giveaway to win the rookie teardown tool. Okay. Scribble says, Zach, Geno was awful last year. Yes, he was truly awful, and yet he is still a massive, massive upgrade over any of the options that New York had. Let's be real, Scribbles. All right, can we keep it a buck here? Okay. Would you rather Justin Fields come back? This is an upgrade, in my opinion. I think this is an upgrade. Okay, last chance to win the rookie teardown tool. How many likes did we get to? Because 150 equals 2 winners. 200 equals 3. We're 30 likes away from 3 winners. Maybe I'll give you guys. I'll do a 5-minute Q&A. If we can reach 200 likes, then I will give 3 rookie teardown tools away to you guys. 3 of them. Okay, away to 3 different people. Okay, let's do a Q&A. I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from y'all. Chasing Breaker says, I get Sadiq over Gadsden based on draft capital, but I would not be surprised if Gadsden laps him in fantasy. Look, I wouldn't be surprised by that either, especially if Keenan Allen doesn't return to the Chargers. I'm not going to fight you on that. I think that's not completely unreasonable. Sadiq could still have a long journey to, there's a lot of things that he probably still needs to learn at this present moment in time before we can, really bank the house on him, if you will. T-Bone says, what's your favorite fit from tonight? Ooh, that's a good question. My favorite fit from tonight. You mean like player team fit is what I assume you're asking? That's a good question. Well, transparently, even though I'm not a Jadarian Price guy, I mean, he fits that team like a glove. He really does. The obvious gaping hole on the Seahawks' entire team was running back. And he can be a guy for them that can carry the ball 15 times, fit their offense perfectly. So he would probably be my favorite fit. I would also say Cardinal Tate to the Titans. I don't think people are excited enough about that fit. Cam Ward is a guy. I mean, if you guys watch Cam Ward out of Miami, he's going to give his receivers a chance, y'all. Like, sometimes he's too loose with the ball, and you're like, what are you doing? It's almost a little bit like, some of you guys might not be playing fantasy yet when I say this, but who remembers the 30 for 30 year with Jameis Winston? Right? I mean, that was terrible quarterback play, but it was so exciting for fantasy football. If any of you guys had Godwin or Evans that year, you were cheering. And all I'm saying is, like, sometimes you can see a similar play style there with Cam Ward. So I do like that landing spot a lot. Okay. Let's see. Other questions. Papa Dunk says, if Stowers goes next, pick 33 to the Niners, is he on that tight end tier list that you showed? Good question. Yes. I'd probably put him... That's a great question. I'd probably put him right ahead of Kittle or behind Kittle. even though I have Kincaid at 12, I'm really just trying to give him respect and time. I don't have high expectations of him moving forward, to be honest. So I think I would put him probably 12, 13, around that range. Ultimately, when everything was said and done. What do you guys think? All right, we currently have 91 entries to the giveaway. 91 of you guys have entered. Now, all you need to do to enter, very simple, gang. First step is to like the stream. Second step is to type our code word today, which is draft day, all one word. We are currently 9 likes away from 200, so we're very, very close to hitting that other like goal. I'll give you guys a couple more minutes, and then we will go ahead and do the giveaway. Now, I will let you guys know before we get into this giveaway, and I'm thrilled that all of you guys are hanging out with me, spending your night with me. Like, that is humbling. I appreciate y'all hanging out. Love when we get to chat about exciting news like this. But while we're waiting to do that giveaway, a couple little admin things, and then we'll get to the giveaway, I promise. Okay? The first bit of admin news is that we do have 6 spots remaining in our Artemis League. Okay? If you don't know, the Artemis League is a real land league. We've got paid commissioners over here on Dynasty Land Football. Shout out to Joel and Rowan. These are real leagues that you can compete in. Okay, these are leagues that really matter. And it says deadline passed, but I'm going to fix that on the back end. Basically, what I'm trying to say is if anybody becomes a promo code LAND annual Mother Flocker member, I guarantee we'll give you a spot into the Artemis League, okay? So we're going to do some team playbooks tonight. Not only do you get a team playbook, customized review of your team, you get the war room, a game plan for your rookie draft, the trade hotline, the trade vouchers. All of that is available to you if you become a promo code LAND annual Mother Flocker member. So I'll put that link in the chat for you guys. That is a little bit of admin news. Okay, 96 entries. 96 entries. Let's see. What are we at? What's the like goal at right now? How are we progressing? Okay, we are at 193. You know what? You guys have been awesome. I'm just going to give it to you. I'm going to give away the preview version of our rookie teardown tool. And let me be very clear. The people who are going to win this tool, I am going to give you the version that we made before the NFL draft. However, I do need to change this post NFL draft. And when I release it on the Flock site, please DM me if you win today, because I will absolutely give you the latest version as well. Once I complete, I think like when day 3 finishes, I'll have the latest version of this available, okay? But this is just a really fun, sneak peek for our people in our community. Okay, so we've got 98 entries. 98 entries. Let's go ahead and spin the wheel here. I'm going to give it away to 3 of you guys. And let's see. I cannot see any of your names, so good luck. But here we go. Spinning the wheel, we're going to have 3 winners. 3 winners today. Our first winner, the first person that will get their eyes on the rookie teardown tool in the history of humanity, is Peepop. First guy who will ever see the rookie teardown tool, outside of myself and my designer. Shout out to Kate. She's killing it. All right, is Peepop. That's awesome. Let's get 2 more here. 2 more. Okay, second winner is It's in 438. Our winners, I'll tell you how to claim your winnings here in a second, okay? Let's get one last winner. Good luck to all, and to all good luck. And our winner today, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car. I'm Oprah today. Our winner is Y Bissonette. Okay, now to all 3 of our people who won, all I need from you is DM me on Discord. There's my username. I need you to tell me your Flock Fancy username, and I need you to give me a screenshot of your YouTube account so I can verify yourself. Now, if you don't have an account on the Flock site, you can create a free one. Just make sure you use the code LAND, L-A-N-D. That way I can find you on the back end. And again, I appreciate y'all being here with me today. Okay, that is our giveaway done and dusted. However, we are going to jump into some team reviews. I do need to take just 5 seconds. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have got to that time of the stream. From here on out, we'll be spending the rest of our time reviewing your dynasty teams, coming up with some game plans for your rookie drafts, looking at trade questions. And if you guys want to get your team reviewed tonight, it's a fantastic night to get your team reviewed. I'm going to go ahead and put that as the pinned comment on today's stream. Now, everybody who gets their team review today also is going to get what we call a team playbook. Team playbook is a customized review of your dynasty football team. You can use the promo code LAND, become an annual Mother Flocker member. That will give you a voucher that you can use through the Flock store. Or if you're a member of a different promo code, you can go to the Flock store a la carte and buy one as well if you want to get into tonight's stream. We have 3 tier options on the website, by the way. By default, your playbook is live. The second option skips the queue, so you get to the top of the queue. And the third option, the Pro Pass, actually doubles your playbook. So if you're out there and you're like, actually, I don't know what team to choose. I've got a lot of teams. Well, the Pro Pass is for you. It's great value. You're going to double your total playbooks for a honestly affordable price. I might need to actually push that price up a little bit because I might have underpriced it a little bit too much. But I appreciate y'all being here. The link in the pinned comment is the same link for you to ask a trade question. So if you want to ask a trade question, you want to get a team reviewed, it's the same exact link. So let's go ahead and let's jump into some trade questions here to start. First one is from Black Cat. It's a Superflex 12-team start 9. He would be sending away Brian Thomas and the 208 for Patrick Mahomes. I can't think of a reason to tell you not to take this trade, man. I mean, you've already got... Okay, I don't think your team is linked. Your team isn't linked on the site, so I'm not sure exactly what the rest of your team looks like. But Patrick Mahomes, again, let's go to Land League's the Land League's website and go to ADP. On average, Patrick Mahomes is drafted as a 304 in Land Leagues. Okay, typically a top 30 player drafted in Superflex formats. Meanwhile, Brian Thomas, while we like Brian Thomas and there's plenty of upside to his game, typically goes around 54th overall. So on average, the 506 Brian Thomas is off the board. So, I mean, I can't really think of a reason, Black Cat, to tell you not to accept this. Even if you have a bunch of quarterbacks, Mahomes is more valuable, and then you can go flip him into a player that you really want anyway. So I'm going to comfortably tell you to take the Patrick Mahomes side. Thanks for letting me answer the question, though. Okay, next one here from Move Maker Mark. Okay, interesting trade here. This is a massive deal. He would send away Trevor Lawrence, Rashee Rice, and the 101. He would get back Jaden Daniels, Drake London, and 2 first-round picks. Let's kind of break this down asset by asset. This is an absolute blockbuster to present on stream, by the way. So the way I view this personally is the 101 and Jaden Daniels are about equivalent in value today. Okay, again, when you look at real drafts in real leagues, you will typically see Daniels somewhere between like 8 and 16. And the 101 is typically in that range as well. Now, I prefer Daniels straight up. I would prefer Daniels in a Superflex league, but they're close enough to say they're equivalent. Then you look at it. I think you can have a preference between London and Rice, but it's pretty close. I do prefer Drake London, obviously. But it's very close. I wouldn't want to tear up from Rice to London. Does that make sense? And then you're essentially paying 2 firsts for Trevor Lawrence, which you're not going to get Lawrence for 1 first. I think this is a pretty even deal. This feels like a pretty even deal. I would be pretty comfortably taking the Daniel side, though. I just think overall there's just too much value there to decline it. And then, I mean, can you package 2 firsts to go get an Achane anyway? Like, could you turn those 2 firsts if you're competing today to go get an Amarian Hampton, to go get a Devon Achane? I think overall I like the Jaden Daniels package there pretty comfortably. All right, D. Thompson sending away Addison, the 106, the 109, and a 27 first-round pick, getting back Kyron Williams and Justin Jefferson. So let's think about that. In this class now, that 106 range is probably Mendoza, maybe Sadiq, Concepcion, maybe Lemon Falls or Jadarian Price. It's really not that solidified at this present moment. Yeah, wow. I'm going to have to pull the chat on this one. I'm going to need your help, chat. Which side would you prefer? Okay, I'm going to say pick package or Jefferson package. I want to hear from you guys because this is a toughie. I think if we broke this down like player by player, it would probably take a 27 first to trade for Kyron Williams. So then the question is, would you trade Addison, the 106, and the 109 for Justin Jefferson? In a way, you're betting on the same offense. It's a different player. But if you think that the Vikings offense is going to be really improved this year, then technically Addison would be a beneficiary of that as well. That's why I'm finding this trade difficult. Not to say that they're anywhere near the same player. That's not what I'm saying. So this is a toughie. We've got some votes in the chat. I want to hear from you guys. Right now, out of it's 50-50 at this present moment. Damn. Okay, let's look at your team for context here. If you made this trade, you would be starting Drake May, Joe Burrow, Kyron Williams, Breece Hall, Jefferson, Adunze, McBride. That would be 7. And it looks like you have to start 11 names. You have to start 4 more names, my friend. Those 4 names: Devonta Smith, Dobbins, Montgomery. I don't think your team is good enough to do this, man. I don't think it's an unfair value overall for the pick package. I just think given the format of this league, I don't think you can afford right now to turn 4 assets into 2. Because even if you do this, you have no other additional future assets to fill out your flex spots. And then assuming there are no injuries, you're flexing Devonta Smith, Ricky Pearsall, Dobbins, Montgomery. That's not the move that you make to go all in my opinion. So I'm going to have to keep the package here. I'm sorry. But if that was a start 9, completely different conversation. But it wasn't a start 9. It was a start 11. All right, Jay Seymour in the building. He's sending away David Montgomery, Jamar Chase for 3 first-round picks. It's a start 10. I don't think I would trade Jamar for this. I would trade for Jamar for this package. Sorry. You have no quarterbacks of note. It's a super flex league. Oof. Brother, what is this roster you've got here? If you made this move, you're starting Sanders and JJ, which you probably can't start. Tootin and Monangai. Chase, McConkey. Okay, look, again, respectfully, this is not an unfair price for Jamar Chase, but I cannot fathom you're trying to sell Jamar. Apologies. You're trying to sell Jamar. Okay. Well, why don't we make this a little more attractive and get another first-round pick from them? So why don't we give them this 111 and then we ask back for another first-round pick? If they're not willing to give us another first, can we get back Scattaboo. Honestly, I would rather just get back Jackson Dart. Get 2 firsts in Jackson Dart, maybe. That might be a fair counter. If that's not possible, I want like another first in value, basically. The team that you're trading with is going to be a good team. They're going to have Jamar Chase. They're going to have a combo of Chase, Puka, Neighbors, London, Rice. So those picks are maybe going to be late. I don't know how valuable those picks are going to be. So instead, maybe you remove the 28 first and you do London and 2 firsts for Chase and Montgomery. I think you need to still get an asset back in this deal rather than doing a straight move. All right, V. Milani would send away Washington, the 105 in a second, for Judkins, Tootin, and the 203. Okay, so you're losing Parker, the 105 in the second, getting back Judkins, Tootin, and the 203. Let's kind of break this down piece by piece. Right now, I do think the 105 and Judkins are about equivalent value. I don't have a strong preference between the second and the 203, which really the question is, do you prefer Parker, Washington, or Tootin? And even though I have some concerns about Tootin long term, I'm going to go ahead and take the Tootin side of that deal pretty comfortably, my friend. Pretty comfortably. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into some team reviews. Currently have 4 reviews in the pipeway here. But of course, if you want to get a team review tonight, feel free to check out the link in the pinned comment. We've got 3 options for you when you sign up. If you become an annual Mother Flocker member with the code LAND, you automatically get that tier 1 live playbook off the rip. Okay, you don't have to, purchase it additionally. It comes with your membership. And you can check out that link in the pinned comment. Okay, let's get to our first playbook of the day, and that is from Dre Carr. Dre, shout out to you, my friend. Thanks for supporting the show. I'm looking forward to hopefully helping your team be the best version of itself that it can possibly be. This is a Superflex 12-team start 9. So this is a smaller starting lineup for a Superflex league. That's only a 2-flex league at most. You are currently ranked 3rd in the league, and the Flock site has your quarterbacks ranked 4th, running backs 3rd, wide receivers 4th, and tight ends 3rd as well. He says, this is a 12-team Superflex, non-tight end premium, 4-point passing touchdown. Wondering if I should try to tier up at any positions. I'm looking to compete this year. Okay, so you have no picks in 2026 that matter. You have no picks in 2027 that matter. So that's instantly, in my opinion, going to put you in that Windows open pathway. We need to do everything that we can to go out and compete this year. What's up, JS? He says, how long are you doing live reviews for? For as long as people want reviews, man. I'm here. I'm in Sydney, Australia. It's 2:41 p.m. my time. I've got time, okay? I can go as long as y'all want to go. Okay, yeah, definitely Windows open roster. Let's look at the starting lineup. We've got Jackson, Baker, Hampton, Achane, Jefferson, Wilson, Loveland. You're flexing a combination, you need 2, between Judkins, Adunze, Marvin, Jameson. That's a pretty good lineup, though, honestly. Like, you don't have much draft capital, but that's a pretty good team. Not many holes on the roster. Quarterback 3 is a little iffy. But this feels, I don't think I can go A range, but man, this is close. B plus A minus. Very close in between that, in my opinion. Okay, untouchables on this team. Lamar Jackson is an untouchable. Closest thing behind Lamar Jackson would probably be Hampton, Jefferson. Justin Jefferson would be closest, actually. Players I would hold on this team. Geno Smith. I know that sounds crazy. Geno just got a huge upgrade to his entire offense. And we're 1 year removed from him being a quarterback 2/3. And you are competing. You don't have the ability to spend on that position. You might as well hold him at this point. Outside of that, let's go to 120 here. Yeah. Outside of that, I also would like to hold Jalen McMillan. I think he has a chance to really break out here without Mike Evans there. Jalen Coker. And I would also put Jack Besh as well, who has a brand new offense and just was drafted a brand new quarterback. If you need to clear space on the roster, you know, I hate to say it, but I wouldn't be... I was going to say Caleb Johnson. You can't drop Caleb yet. It's going to be Jalen Lane if you need to move, and Jimmy Horn Jr. Those are the guys that you're going to move if you do drop anyone. On the bench, you have Jalen Naylor. What does Jalen do? You could pick him up. I'd rather have him over those two guys on your bench. And then, I mean, as of right now, they haven't drafted a player yet, but DJ Giddens, I would also roster because he's a clear handcuff to Taylor at this present moment in time. Okay, so let's come up with some trade ideas for you, Dre. Look, man, this team is pretty much set. I don't know how you can really improve this team outside of tearing down from players. I think you need the depth that you have because injuries are going to occur and you have very little draft capital. Make sure you use code LAND, JS Go. Make sure you use code LAND, my friend, LAND. The two moves I could think of. If you need to contend this year, I'm not opposed to shopping Rome Odunze. I'm not saying that you have to Rome Odunze. I'm not saying you have to move him. Why is it doing that? Okay, Rome Odunze. But if you're trying to compete right now this year, then you could buy some veterans that you know are guaranteed to put points on your roster. So when I say a Rome Odunze, pivoting to a safer option would look like, let's see, for example, Garrett Wilson. You're going to have to add on to Garrett Wilson. Sorry, guys. I need to quickly close this app and reopen it. Okay, I said Garrett Wilson. Now, what would you need to push you over the top? I mean, could you package Garrett Wilson and, you know, I don't want to move the player, but can you package Rome Odunze and Jalen Coker? What does it take? You've also got is it a third, or you've got a third in the future? Can you use that third? Marvin Harrison. Instead of Marvin Harrison, how about Chris Olave, who at the moment, Chris Olave has, you know, new competition, but he's already proven that he can put up numbers. Another option here is we know that despite his off-field issues, Rashee Rice is going to be a contender piece that you could compete with right now. Shoot, we were talking about it earlier. We know that Nico Collins is going to lose value here on out. But again, for a team that's competing, you could certainly go out and make that trade now if you'd like to. Alternatively, I don't really want to look at a tear down. Like, I think you have enough depth. You know, what I would maybe look at next is like, can we tear down off of Lamar? That just doesn't make sense because you have enough depth right now where I don't think you need to make a move like that. How about Judkins? I will say, as much as I love Judkins, you need points right now. So if you can pivot off of Judkins for the following names, I think it makes sense. Bucky Irving, for example. Like, I think Bucky Irving would be a great option for you. Breece Hall is going to be a little bit more reliable this year, in my opinion. Javonte Williams. Hey, Cam Scattaboo now. I think these guys are going to put up more reliable points. We talked about Chase Brown. So, yeah, I think I think those are probably your best bets if you're wanting to go out and kind of be all in this year as a contending roster. But I appreciate you, man. You will get your team playbook completely customized to everything that we talked about today within the next 3 to 4 business days. But I do greatly appreciate you hanging out on stream and supporting the show. Very, very kind of you. Okay. What's up, Dynasty Dude in the building? Dynasty Dude upgraded or renewed his membership early, I think, to get one of these playbooks done. Let me know if you're in the building, Dynasty Dude. All right. Let's have a look here. Team name is Go DJ, Go DJ, Go. Go DJ, Go DJ, Go. Superflex start 10. That is our middle ground lineup. Your team is ranked 6th right now. The site has you 2nd at quarterback, 5th at running back, 8th at receiver, and 9th at tight end. He says, not sure what moves I should make or can pursue to turn this team into a contender. Appreciate all the help and advice. Thank you. Hey, man, thank you. Thanks for showing some love to the channel. Thanks for being a member for multiple years. I truly appreciate it more than you know. Very, very kind of you. Okay. So again, team rank is number 6. There is a tight end premium here, and you've got a lot of capital to work with. So this will be a fun one because I can get you into the war room. And now that we know where these players are, really come up with a game plan for your rookie picks, which I'm excited to do for you. Okay. All right. Untouchables on this team would be Josh Allen. Clearly, Josh Allen is the main untouchable here. He's going to score a lot of points for you right now. Outside of Josh Allen, I would say like the 101 is the closest thing to your next untouchable. As far as holds on this roster, man, not a lot of players I'm like traditionally pounding the table for. Daniel Jones, I think, is worth holding right now. Stephon Diggs, I know that sounds silly, but I think he's going to sign somewhere, kind of like how Keenan Allen did last year. Treylon Burks, you know, after today, I know they've got Jalen Lane as well, but Treylon Burks, they don't have a 2nd round pick. He could actually be important to that offense, which is scary to think about. And Michael Mayer would be the other name I would be holding. Players that you can drop pretty easily if you'd like to drop Darius Slayton. You can drop Darius Slayton. If you want to drop Dawson Knox, I can't think of a scenario in which you're going to be starting him pretty consistently. On your waiver wire, you've got really no one of note now. If you were holding George Alani, you can probably let him go, guys, at this point. Okay, but a team like this, your starting lineup is Allen and Jones, Walker, Love, Tet, DJ, Kincaid, Adams, Brees, Pittman. I would really love to tear off of Josh Allen on this team if I could. Yeah, I mean, you've got some good players. I'd say you're more of a sleeper than a true contender at this point with your lack of wide receiver strength and tight end strength. Overall team grade, as of right now, I'm probably going to lean like a C+. C+ feels quite fair given the assets that you've got. But I love your draft capital. Obviously, having the 101 is going to make a huge impact. Now, to everybody out there, you may or may not have seen the War Room before, but I talk about the War Room often. This is where the magic happens with your review. If you're out there, you've got a rookie draft upcoming, let's make a game plan together. This is exactly what I'm going to do for Dynasty Dude right here, right now. So obviously, at the 101, Jeremiah Love is the player that you're going to take. There is nobody else that you can really consider there. You need a anchor for your team, and he's going to provide that anchor for you. Now, at the 107, things have got interesting because now at the 107, we've got Ty Simpson in play. We've got Kenyon Sadiq in play like he was before. I don't think Jadarian Price is possible. I'll put him there just in case your league undervalues him. But really the main players you're looking at, and someone correct me if I'm wrong because this is the first time I'll be entering this information now that the first round is finished, but it's going to be someone between Simpson, Sadiq, Price, Concepcion, Cooper. And I doubt Jadarian Price is available. Beyond that, best player available, I couldn't tell you at this present moment in time. It's a little too early to come up with a game plan. Now, if you're going to trade that 101, Gibbs has got to be the name. If it's not Gibbs, then it's got to be Bijan. Like, there's no way you're trading Jeremiah Love unless it's for one of these players. You could also look to do something like Ashton Genty with a plus on top. What is that plus? What's possible in your league? At the 107, if you were to trade the 107, I do think it's improved value. Scatterboo would be awesome. I don't know if that's possible anymore. He might be in a higher range there. But Javonte Williams would be awesome for you. Kyron, and this is if you're going to go and try and contend this year, right? You're not making these moves if you're not trying to contend right now. Who else? I think it's probably not enough for like a Chase Brown Judkins, but I would like both of those guys for your team. Again, we said Chase Brown. We said Judkins. With a Judkins, whether you compete this year or not, he's a safe player to have on the team. But that's really the main moves I will make with your team. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and export this for you. And this is a brand new system, guys. If you're going to get a team review, if you've been a member here for a while, I have built out a little system where as soon as I am done on stream with your war room, if it works properly, it should automatically send it as it has. Perfect. Bang. Right to our war room text channel. Okay, so you guys see that under the land tab, there's now a war room text channel. And anytime I finish a playbook on the stream, it will be sent right there for you guys. You can download it on your phone. You'll have exactly the right game plan for your rookie draft. How perfect is that? So I'm pretty hyped about that addition to the war room. Okay, but with that in mind, I think the last thing I really want to look at here, Dynasty Dude, is Josh Allen. I do think we should look at tearing down from him. Our team is not strong enough across the board at this present moment in time. I would just be worried that we would be very much middle of the pack. And then I would say if in season you are a seller, then we'll come up with some names that you can sell here. DJ Moore instantly comes to mind. I know you've got DJ Moore. You also had Devontae Adams. So those could be some guys that you could sell pretty much straight away. You also have Derrick Henry. Why does it do that? I don't know. So these are some moves that you can make. Let's look at some Josh Allen tear downs. Okay, Jackson Dart would be awesome. A Jackson Dart 102, 103 would be more than enough. Right? That would be awesome for you. I don't know if that's really possible. But could you do that? And, is it possible if you only had to add Derrick Henry? Would that put you over the top? If that's asking too much, can you do it for a random future first on top of that package? But I think that instantly gives you a lot more flexibility moving forward. Yeah, not obsessed with a package there. Caleb Williams, Luther Burden, and a first would be awesome. I don't know if you can get all of that package, but getting that stack of Williams, Burden, and what they can potentially be in the future would be awesome. Again, with this same deal, do you have to add on a Derrick Henry to make it happen? Do you have to add on a Devontae Adams? Maybe you could get more if you were to do a deal like that. But you do need to find someone who believes they're a contending roster. I mean, I would even do something simple like Jaden Daniels and a plus. You know, like if you can do, this is very, very simple. But Jaden Daniels plus Marvin Harrison Jr., right? I would do that. That guy has Marvin Harrison Jr. Jaden Daniels plus a first in the future. I would do. I think all those give you a lot more flexibility with this current build than what you currently have. Yeah. Shoot, even Lamar Jackson. Lamar plus the 104, for example. And you can send back, what picks it? Where was it that you had again? Let me see. You can send back, your 205 maybe. Something on top. For DJ Moore, we really want any first in any year, ideally, for him. I would say the same for Derrick Henry, although it's probably not possible for Derrick anymore. Same for Devontae Adams, probably not possible for Adams anymore. And in that case, we would take multiple future seconds. So that's the game plan there, Dynasty Dude. I appreciate you big time, man. Thanks for letting me look at the team. Okay. Let's jump into our next playbook here. And I appreciate y'all hanging out with me here on stream. We've got Moritz next. Moritz is... it looks like a Superflex start 10. It is a 12-team league. So depth definitely, matters in a league like this. Team name is Syntex Corsairs. Might be something behind that I don't understand. Currently ranked 6th overall. And again, like we said, Superflex start 10. The most common lineup we see here when we're reviewing teams. Okay. He said, hard to decide which direction to go with this one. Lots of youth and potential, but no superstars. I also have an extra 28 first, if that should factor into anything. Thanks. Okay. Let's have a look. You have the 107 and the 408. So we will definitely come up with a game plan for you here for those rookie picks. Okay. Untouchables right now. I don't think you really have any untouchables. You have a lot of good players, but none that I would say are truly, untouchable range. Players I would hold. At this point, Cam Scatterboo is a really strong hold. He was a huge winner after day one. Travis Hunter, I would hold. I want to see what Jaden Reed looks like in this offense without Romeo Doubs. And I would also add Brenton Strange. Players that you can drop. Look, Darius Cooper you can drop. They just drafted a receiver, so he can kind of go on his way now. Xavier Hutchinson you can drop. There's a lot of names. You could drop Noah Gray at this point. You could drop Rashawn Johnson. Lots of options for you. On the waiver wire, I would definitely roster Jordan James. Man, Devon Vele just got hit big time in this draft, didn't he? Jahan Dotson as well. Okay. So you are starting Burrow, Caleb, Henderson, Scat, Marvin, Bryan, Fannin. Then you're flexing Judkins, Jamo, Adams. Not a bad team. You've got the 107 there. And I think you can compete. I'd say this is probably like a B flat roster. Like it's a good team. There's a lot of depth. But you don't have a ton of top-end superstars right now. And I would really put us in that sleeper category. But there are some moves that we can make to potentially get out of that category. Let's jump into the war room. I think we should probably use these quarterbacks to get a more complete team. But at the 107, right now, that range after today's draft looks pretty solidified. You're going to have one of these names: Ty Simpson, Sadiq, Price, Concepcion, Cooper. Beyond that, best player available. Now, what you could trade the 107 for, as a contender, I do think the 107 probably gained value. I definitely think now that the draft has finished, you could probably go a Waddle here. I think that's realistic. A Devonta Smith here. Certainly A.J. Brown. And this is if you're wanting to go out and contend this year. If you're not wanting to contend, then obviously you would keep those picks. This is probably too expensive for DJ Moore now. I don't think you could, but a great fit for you could also be Zay Flowers. And then if you trade that late pick, you would want to trade it for a future 4th round pick, ideally. And again, Moritz, we just have this brand new feature that I'm launching today, where now I'm going to post your war room directly to the Discord. So there it is, bang. Under the land community tab, there's a war room tab, and you will see your war room right there, ready to go, my friend. So you know you've got a game plan for your rookie draft. What I would love to do with this team is probably use Joe Burrow. If not Burrow, Caleb Williams. If not Caleb Williams, Justin Herbert. And we need to trade one of these guys to get a top-end name. Probably at receiver. Okay? And let's just say this right now. I would say all trades for Joe Burrow are interchangeable with Caleb Williams above. So I will do Joe Burrow, but you could also do Caleb Williams in any of these trade deals. Who needs a quarterback on the team? Come on. The guy who has CJ Stroud and Trevor Lawrence. Certainly he could use a quarterback, right? Would he be willing to give us Jamar Chase if we gave him Burrow, maybe Burrow plus the 107? I wonder, like in some leagues, could that get you Jamar Chase now after the trade, or after the first round of the NFL draft? If that has to be Caleb, it's Caleb. You're not going to make this trade for an Olave, probably. Okay. That guy doesn't need to upgrade. This guy has Daniel Jones as his quarterback, too. Could you do that same deal for JSN? I would certainly try it. It would make sense for both of you, except obviously he's going to be giving up the wide receiver 1 in Dynasty. You're giving up a top 5 to 6 Dynasty quarterback. I'm not opposed to McMillan, but Tet McMillan would be more Justin Herbert range than Joe Burrow range, right? So if you made a move like that, you know, you're going to add Tet at the top of that receiver room. You still have plenty of quarterback depth. This guy no longer has to deal with Daniel Jones as quarterback too. That could be a win-win. That guy doesn't really need quarterbacks. How about the guy who has Mac Jones at quarterback too? Well, he has Bowers. You've already got a tight end that you're comfortable with, so that's not going to work. Wow, a lot of these teams are quite bad. What in the world happened to this league? Goodness gracious, man. This league got torn apart. Well, look, obviously, if you're able to turn Burrow or Caleb Williams into Malik Neighbors, that makes sense as well. If not Neighbors, you know, an Amon-Ra St. Brown. So, unfortunately, though, I'm going to keep it real with you more. It's like your league does not have a lot of equality. Is equality the wrong word? It's just very, very much favored towards one or two teams at the top there. You got a lot of teams that I cannot picture a way that they bounce back and be competitive. Like, what in the world happened to this guy? He doesn't have his 27 first. His wide receiver one is Jalen Naylor. How does that even happen, man? Y'all must have taken this guy for a ride. An absolute ride. Okay. But I hope that's helpful, Martz. Appreciate you big time, my friend. And thanks for coming on the stream. And let me look at the squad. Thanks for being a annual Mother Flocker member. Like I said, guys, if you want to join today's stream, you want to get your team reviewed, become a promo code LAND annual Mother Flocker member. You can check out that link in the pinned comment. I'll put it in there again for you now. And we've also got some spots in our next upcoming Dynasty League, Land Community Leagues. If you want to be a part of those, you will get fast-tracked into our most recent league if you become a brand new member. Please let me know if you have any questions at all whatsoever. I do greatly appreciate you guys hanging out with me here on stream. Okay, potentially the last review of the day. If you guys want to get a review, if you want to submit a trade question, I'm here. It's only 3 p.m. my time, but what time is it in New York? Oh my gosh. Yeah, right. 1:15 a.m. What are some of you guys even doing up right now? Some of you guys need to be in bed, okay? It's too late. Okay. All right, Dip Munch is the next review here. What's up, Dip Munch? He said his team name is Never Gonna Gibbs You Up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna turn around and desert you. You're currently ranked... Ooh, where are you, brother? You're ranked 4th. And this is a 1 quarterback start 9, which is the middle ground. You can probably start up to 5 receivers in a format like this. The site has your quarterbacks ranked 4th, 3rd at running back, 7th at receiver, and 9th at tight end. And you said, hi, Zach, I'm looking for some advice in this Dynasty League and some ideas where to go with my team. The Fisher says, can you look at the trades that have happened? I think that's a feature that we have. I think that's a feature that we have, but I haven't ever used it, and it doesn't look like it's functioning for this particular team. But also, if there's something, you know, some important trade that you need to tell me about, you can also put it on the entry as well. Okay, so in this league, you are starting Lamar Jackson, Gibbs Javonte, or Gibbs CMC, really, Olave, Egbuka, Kittle, and then you're flexing Javonte, Brian Thomas, and the unfortunate part is we don't know who that last flex is. Maybe Parker Washington. Alec A.O. Manor definitely gets buried after the Tate pick. Untouchables on this team. Definitely going to start with Jahmyr Gibbs. And probably Lamar Jackson would be the closest thing you have next. Players I would hold. Parker Washington. I think he's a good player. You need to compete. you would hope that he's going to turn into a flexible name. Chigakonkwo. I think he's a very, very sneaky starting tight end for your team. I would hold CMC because you need to win right now. And then the last hold on this team would be probably Tez Johnson in case Egbuka goes down with an injury. You can flex him straight away. Players that you can drop. If you need to clear space, I think you could drop Devin Neal if you wanted to. I think you could drop Calvin Ridley if you wanted to, especially after today. And then on the waiver wire, is there anyone interesting at all? Not really. Those quarterbacks are there, but it's a one quarterback league. Okay. Well, this is what we would call a Windows open lineup. You do not have the flexibility of not competing this year because you don't have your first in 2027. It's not the best team ever, but it's not a bad team at all. I'm going to give you a B. And yeah, I think you really need Kittle to be available. You need CMC to stay healthy. And you need Brian Thomas to be a serious contributor. That's what I would say you genuinely need. But let's jump into the war room here. And let's clear that from the last one and enter your picks here. Okay. So we've got the 110, 210, 310, and the 410. If you were to stick at the 110, you're going to be left with whatever is available from this group of players. I can tell you for certain, you're going to have one of these names. Simpson, Sadiq, Price, Concepcion Cooper. And honestly, I don't even think Price is a realistic outcome here anymore. He's going to be higher than this. Beyond that point, I couldn't tell you who the best player available is going to be. Probably after tomorrow, I have a better idea. But sending this 110 away, definitely this is still DJ Moore range. I don't think you're going to get Waddle, but there's certainly, a small percentage of leagues out there where people would be willing to do that. I think AJ Brown is probably possible in some leagues. Also, Devonta Smith. Some people might prefer an Omar Cooper versus those names if that's who ends up being there, hypothetically. Jameson is not the worst flex for you either. I think he could work. But at that 210, you've also got names like Godwin. You've got names like Sutton that could be great veterans for you there that you could look at. So if I were you, because you need to contend right now, I probably would buy one of these veterans. Ideal outcome is a Jalen Waddle, DJ Moore, AJ Brown. I don't think you're going to be able to replicate their production in a league like this. So that is my game plan for your rookie draft, my friend. And there you go. It's available under the land tab on Discord in the War Room section. You can download this and know exactly what I would do with your rookie picks if I were you. So go check that out. Okay, let's jump to the chalkboard here. And let's think about this. We've got Lamar, we've got Goff, we've got Olave, Gibbs, Javonte, CMC. Look, I think the one move is looking at Brian Thomas. And if you're not sure if he can be a serious contributor to your championship run this year, then it would be silly not to at least consider what you could pivot off of him for. You got people like Sammy out there who would very, very comfortably move Brian Thomas away. Right now, George Pickens, with all the news around George Pickens. I know that sounds crazy, but try it. I got it done in a league. Doesn't mean that's going to happen in every league. Outside of Brian Thomas, can you move him for a T. Higgins, right? You know for sure that T. Higgins is going to help you go out and win a championship this year right now. It's probably not possible to get like a Mecca Egbuka, but I'd do that. Same with Nico Collins. Rashee Rice. Again, these will come down to your league and how your league views these players. Alternatively, you could tear down from Gibbs. The thing is, I would rather use your 110 to get Gibbs. And the other thing that we can look, to figure out your wide receiver room, the other thing that we can do is send our 27-second away for a veteran flex. Mike Evans, Devontae Adams, DeAndre Swift, right? Those are some guys that you could kind of stick right into your lineup. And no, it's not perfect, but they kind of band-aid that flex spot for you, if you will. But that'd probably be my game plan for you, my friend. But that is all of the playbooks for today. I will end the stream with, let's just say, answering 5 trade questions, okay? Or just 5 questions in the chat. If you're out there and you're watching and you have a question, I'll do a quick little Q&A here. And then tomorrow night, we'll be live again after rounds 2 and 3. But you need to be aware that on Sunday night, when the draft has completed, we will be here live doing our first real rookie draft of the season. I am very excited for that. Would love for you guys to come join me. Also, we have one more announcement that I just remembered. I did, for draft day, decide that I would give away a team playbook. Now, you can go ahead and enter that giveaway through Twitter. So I'll put that link in the chat. If you want to win a team playbook, customized review of your Dynasty team, you can see exactly on Twitter how to enter that giveaway. But you know what, guys? We're going to call it there. I appreciate y'all hanging out, and I'll see you guys very soon. Nothing but love. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow night, same time, same place. And yeah, nothing but love, guys. Deuces.